Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Just Fun Stuff. Another beautiful day on Funland, which means another day that we can create an amazing speed build. If you can't tell by the outfit, we are going to be recreating the house from Encanto today. I can't wait to get started, but before we do, don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe on the channel, and let's not wait. Let's get right into it. Starting with the base. Now, again, typically you think Encanto, if you've seen the movie, and a lot of people have, it's an amazing movie. It's so much fun. Bright, colorful, lush, tropical. It's set in Colombia, so rainforest type area. Obviously, here on Funland, it is January. It's winter time, and we don't time travel on this particular island. I've tried to keep it as authentic as possible while playing, so I haven't gone ahead and transformed it to be a green area. So just in your mind, think green grass. We're gonna be covering up so much of it that you won't really notice the snow as much. Right now, though, it's all about taking the time to set up the base. Now, like always, I'm making the base much bigger than it probably needs to be, but that's because there's so many elements. If you've seen the movie and you know what the house looks like, you know that it's so many different layers and shapes and sizes and colors, and they're offset and inset and to the side. So I wanted to make sure that in making the platform we had an abundant space to work with, because I'd rather cut it back after than have to fight with it and add more. I'm definitely going to be building this one. As you can see, we're going to be doing it layer by layer. I thought that was the easiest way to go, starting from the top and working our way down. So we're heading up to do the first layer. Had to stop and talk to Apple, who wanted to buy our castle tower or castle gate, and that wasn't happening. We kind of need it for the build. So up goes the first part, and I love these medieval building sides. They made creating this house from Encanto so much easier, and to the exact colors that we need. There's a lot of the mossy colors, the beige colors, the pink colors. So being able to customize them in this way made it so much fun to create this build. Now we are putting up the beige portion, and it's one of those things where it's trial and error, getting things to size where we want them. If you look at the exact picture from the Disney movie, if you just type in Encanto on Google and you find the house, that's what I'm using as my reference picture, which is why you see the colors and shapes as they are, including that wood partition, because they have a little fence on the actual house on that top layer by the pink. So trying to recreate that, trying to use as many items as we can to kind of create the same shapes and colors that they use. But again, this entire build it's trial and error for sure. It's every now and then you'll see Poppy kind of stop and look, and that's because I had a diagram I had drawn and labeled with colors and what we wanted to use sitting beside me so that I could remember how to piece this ginormous puzzle together. And that's what you're seeing, the bit by bit, the piece by piece, the colors that we use, the patterns that we're using. I'm trying to keep them as remotely authentic as humanly possible. Although, by the way, side note, if anybody's been watching that dung beetle roll that snowball from the beginning of the video, it is huge now. Just massively huge. He just made the biggest snowball. Started tiny. Anyway, back to the actual build. Here's where I start seeing things that I don't like. I don't like the placement. I don't like the way they're working. I figure changes need to be made, so we're gonna do a little modifying and moving around because I want this to be as perfect as possible. This is such a fun build, and I wanted to do it forever, and it took a lot of planning. Now, I will state, this is not 100% authentic. This is me doing my best to create the build, and I think in the end, it'll turn out pretty well. But I just want to state that this is not 1,000,000% accurate. It's as close as I could get it. In seeing it after I've done it, I'd probably put the castle tower in front of the beige castle gate, because in the picture you see the big tower, but I mean, it works. The whole thing works. Now we're changing where we put the palm tree, which is built into the house in the movie, adding more of the castle or the medieval building sides. There were some brick panels in the picture of the movie, so we added some brick panels on our end. Again, just trying to keep it somewhat authentic to the movie, and you can see it. You can see it starting to come together and kind of taking the same shape that the house does in the movie, and I was really, really, really happy with the way it was looking and the way it was coming out. But with all things, like I do when I'm building, it'll probably change, balloon break, and back to work. Like I said, cutting out is much, much easier. I'd rather, like I said, build it really big and then worry about cutting it out after. So right now, that's what we're doing. We've got the main layers up, and now it's gonna do the bottom layer after Poppy gets rid of most of this. Oh, I love building. Sometimes I don't know what kind of controllers you're using, but when I use the actual Switch controllers, the handheld controllers, I find that they tend to drift on you sometimes. So yeah, every now and then you get a little frustrated when you're putting up the blocks because they go everywhere. It doesn't pay attention to you. You end up putting them up, knocking them down, putting them up, knocking them down. But that's all part of the fun. Back to what we were doing. I forgot about these giant plants from Happy Home Paradise. They are so pretty and so perfect, so I put that in place of one of the plant partitions because I thought it looked really cute up on the cliffside, and it's going to be blocked by buildings as well, and it adds to that tropical rainforest kind of feel. They're so pretty. All right, adding more medieval building sides, specific colors, trying to keep it, again, somewhat authentic. Not fully, because it was difficult to put up. And in a perfect world, we would be able to add another layer and climb up, and unfortunately we can't, so we're working with what we got. But I think it works really well. We're getting a lot of dimension and a lot of depth, and that's what I was going for. And mostly the colors, because it's all about the colors in that movie. It's so bright, so colorful, right down to Mirabelle's outfit, which we tried to get as authentic as possible. She's got her little ponchette on, she's got her little dress, her little embroidered shoes, the glasses. So cute. This build was so much fun. All right, now we're adding more palm trees. The main build itself is pretty much done. We're getting rid of some pine trees because, again, probably not going to see those in the rainforest. Removing some fences from the previous build. Ketchup's diner was actually here before, which is why Ketchup, if you saw the video doing her house, she's in a condemned construction site right now. It's because we had to move her in order to make space to create this build, and I really wanted to do it. So sorry, Ketchup, thank you for taking one for the team. We will find a permanent place to put her house and make her a beautiful dream house and dream yard. Right now she just lives in a construction site. Now we are laying down some more paths. Lots and lots of dirt roads in the movie, so I wanted to use that. Plus, I love using the path to cover up a lot of area. It looks really nice, and it covers up a lot of the snow, so it helps to take away from the fact that it's January on Funland, and we're not in Colombia at the Encanto house. Again, keeping the path pretty simple. I just wanted to take up a lot of space. Oops, Stitches stopped by. Space that we can decorate and make beautiful. But again, yes, very simple with the path out. Now we're gonna add plants and trees and flamingos and decorations. This is where it gets a little more fun because we get to kind of play around with the actual yard of the house now that the main structure is finally up. So more changing, customizing. And I love when we have items from other builds so we don't have to build anything, because we haven't had to actually build anything for this build. All we've had to do is customize items that we have had for previous builds that we had in our storage, and I love that. I love being able to reutilize stuff and not have to build it and waste wood and stuff. There we go, another one of the big plants. I love them. I love these trees. I know that they're more desert oasis type trees, but I think they work for what we're doing. And again, they take up a lot of ground. They have the same kind of dirt at the bottom. Kind of rainforesty, I guess, as far as we can go here on Funland. Mom's candle. I couldn't find anything else to really represent the candle from the family. I wish there was a way that I could turn Mom's candle, but it wouldn't let me, so that you only saw the one candle. But I think anyone that's seen the movie gets the idea of where I was going with that. The table set up is, again, if you've seen the movie, you know that they all sit around as a family having their discussions at the big wooden table. So I wanted to include that in their front yard for sure. Tons and tons of plants. Lots of the mum cushions because I just like them. They're big and tropical. I think this may be one of the first builds that I've done that doesn't include an insane amount of lighting. Most builds that I do have the party lights, or they have insane amounts of street lights, or the floor lights, or just tiki torches, stuff everywhere, and this one doesn't. I didn't feel that it required it. It wasn't really part of anything, so kept it really simple. But this is it. This is the finished product. Now think of this in the summer on Funland. So no snow on the ground, nice bright green grass. I'm feeling it. It's feeling like Encanto. It looks as close as I could get it to the house, and I'm super happy with the way it came out. It was such a fun build to do. I had an absolute blast doing it. I want to thank you guys, though, for coming along and creating this with me, for liking and subscribing, and definitely gonna be back with more Animal Crossing videos.